Okay, Breitling. And no, everyone doesn't get a free emergency watch for making one of these, but it'd be nice. So we've already made one like this. This is our standard push through. It's got the 1/2 inch push through cabinet, reverse glow. But this one's 15 feet, which is a little bit bigger than the last one we made. So it's a pretty big beast. Anyway, so we got our faces here, got our braces for the seams, our outer frame. We got the wall backer, got the struts, and then we got some jigs. Got some corner jigs here. We'll go over that. Got some inner jigs, and keep an eye out for the little light baffles for the corners. Keep an eye out for those. 1/8 inch polycarb backer. How we do. 1/2 inch pushies. There's a install pattern. So because this thing's so big, I had to go with 3 pieces on the face, which meant a lot of stabilizing. Plus this thing's so long, it's going to be heavy. So as usual, I wrung out the engineering dish rag as much as I could to squeeze everything out of it. So I came up with a kind of a frame idea. So I'll go over that. So I broke the frame into 4 pieces and 2 side pieces here. So what we're going to do is fold this up. You've got 3 inches on the face right here. You've got 2 inches that's going to go on the inside, and then we have the 4.5 inch on the outside like we normally do. So instead of just normally doing like this bend here and this bend here, or just a bend and bend, what I did is in order to get some strength, because this thing's going to be so heavy and so wobbly, um, went ahead and made it to where there's going to be this internal frame, and that's here. And then it's going to have these corner jigs that you'll cleco in, and you'll go ahead and weld those in. And then you go ahead and put this all together, slide these in. You can put this on your table face down or whatever. And then you can go ahead and weld in these corners and then put these kind of middle braces in, and then you can weld those to the inside as well. So that way this whole flat dimension here will be welded. Then you can go ahead and weld the seams together here. Super good. You'll give them the good burn because they're going to need the strength to be lifting this thing. And also you'll be able to weld on the inside here, on the inside of the cabinet. You can weld this 2 inches together real good too. Run a bead on that. So that way, and then go ahead and stitch this together real good. So this will allow us to do all of our welding first, like we like to do. Get all the welding done, then do all the Lord's epoxy. That way we don't have anything shifting or kind of wanting to break off after we don't want to mix the Lords with the welds, like that's our general rule. So this will allow you to weld this frame up completely, get it all super strong. Then you'll just bend these up, and you can just then Lords, Lords it up real good, put plenty of Lords on there, and maybe even throw in some rivets here and there as a safety. But basically that way, when you're done, it'll be nice and strong. You can go ahead and weld this in too first. So you can put the ends in, get the ends welded, and that way you're Lordsing, and we don't have to weld after we Lords. And then once you've got all this together, and the faces are Lords to the frame like we got here, so you'll have that frame, you'll have your faces, then you can go ahead and close up these seams with these little pieces here. Then you'll have your center braces here. You can Lords those in right here. Those guys will just Lords in nice and tighten up that seam. So once that's all done, then you're pretty much good. Also, we got this notch here. Since the push through for the B goes up into the framing, I had to kind of notch out the frame so it'll miss that B for the push through. So that's where this will come in. But I did leave this part on, so when you fold this up, there should be enough room to tuck the 1/2 inch push through in there. And then also kind of custom did the backer, so it'll kind of sit up in there. So it should work, but if you have to, you might have to customize that a little bit. Might have to kind of figure that out. But when you go to Lords on the face and stuff, just make sure that that's kind of all lining up right. So when you go to put the push through in, just kind of look for that and kind of work with it. Also, you might want to take, because there will be a piece of 090 going across here. It shouldn't cause a shadow, but you might want to just make sure you stuff an LED module right up in there on that B there. So that way, make sure you got a nice nodule. That way, there shouldn't be any shadow or anything coming from that piece of brace there. I just wanted to keep some strength. But if you have to, you could duck saw that out or something if you don't think you need it. So anyway, just keep an eye out for that. let's see. Oh, before you do that, right? So you'll want to lords or weld all this together, and then you'll lords the seam pieces to the side here. So the seam pieces will be lords to the side frame on the outside. So go ahead and put on the outside there, and then also this little guy here will go on the outside of this. So the only thing on the inside of the frame will be this part that's welded to the frame itself, and then just go ahead and stick this to the outside, yeah, like right there, and then on the inside there. So that'll face in towards the push throughs. Yeah, so the backer, this is all how we do, because we're just going to do the brace pieces on the outside. We don't have to mess with any notches, so that'll keep that simple. So we'll just weld all in like we do, nothing new there. Lords this piece in there. Because this thing is so long and people are probably going to be coffin lifting it from one end and the other, this is just going to want to fold up. So let's make sure this gets put in nice, maybe put in some safety rivets, just make sure it's all nice and strong. And let's see, and last but not least, don't forget your little corner baffles there. So once you get all that done, you just tack those in. Make sure that those will hide the light. Try to make it nice and even. So otherwise, I think that's it. Got your pattern. So yeah, just hit me up if you have any questions.